Gizhawenimin Joanim Kagegabo Indijanakas Mekanak Indudem Mekanak Wajawing and Dunjaba Beshoga Kabakang and Danungum Apijigo Migwage Bisandoic. And what I said there was a traditional Ojibwe protocol greeting. I said, "Hello, all of my relatives. My name is Kagegabo. I'm Turtle Clan. I'm a descendant of Turtle Mountain. I live close to Minneapolis today, and I wanted to take a moment and thank you all for tuning in and listening to this live Ojibwe Word of the Day. I so look forward to doing these on Thursday nights. And if you take a few moments out of your day to talk about, to discuss, to listen to Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, Chippewa, Nakawe, Soto, language, culture, history, spirituality, philosophy, ethics, linguistics. I'm always grateful for that. Thank you so much for listening. In today's word of the day, I was inspired to talk about this. I was working on my book earlier, and I was proofreading some of the chapters, and one of the topics really leapt out at me because it's maybe one of the most important words dealing with spirituality, dealing with how we lead our lives. It's a word I use every day, and the word is Zhawenim. And that's going to be the base word. What I think we should look at is how we can use this word, not just linguistically, but in our lives. And something I absolutely love about that transitive animate verb is it has 3 different meanings in English, but we only use one word for it in Ojibwe. Zhawenim can mean to love unconditionally. It can also mean to pity or have, again, this unconditional compassion for your relative. And it can also mean to bless someone. So often when we are using this word, in Zhawenima, I love him or her. And maybe we'll start off in the very beginning that if you have someone in your life that you have deep, unconditional love for, to be able to say, I love you, would be Gizhawenimin. This is something I say to my son every morning when I drop him off at school. It is Gizhawenimin, I'll see you later. Gizhawenimin, I love you. And my heart just melts every time he repeats that back to me quickly and before the door opens so no one else can hear him. But he'll say, Gizhawenimin, and then off he goes to begin his day at school. Gizhawenimin, I love you. Now, when I'm using this word, I use this word with my son to tell him that I love you. And again, please feel free to use that with your children. Use that with your parents. Use that with your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. Gizhawenimin. You can also say Gizakiin. That means I love you as well. Now, when I will use this in prayer, which is, often I'll just tell this to my son. Say, I do. I feel like that love for him, it's unconditional. I think it's something we're hardwired as human beings to feel. Now at night when I'm setting my tobacco down, before I'll go to bed, how I'll end that is by saying this word, Zhawenimishinaam, 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 Zhawenimishinaam. And what that really means, you'll hear this at the end of maybe pipe ceremonies, at the end of maybe a round in a sweat lodge. But Zhawenimishinaam means to please bless. Please have compassion and pity. And please love all of us unconditionally. And, you're asking the Spirit for this, the Monadu, Kije Monadu, the kind Spirit, the benevolent mystery. And that's for all of us. And there's some very important teachings in that word and how it's used. You would rarely, in prayer, ask for something exclusively for yourself. So to say, please bless, please pity, please love me unconditionally, it's Zhawenimishinaam, Zhawenimishinaam. However, in prayer, and the teaching here is Gizhawenimin, Gizhawenimin. We are all related. We are all interconnected. I am all of my relatives, and all of my relatives are me. So if I were to ever ask the benevolent mystery, the kind spirit, for something, and I really wanted that for myself, I would ask the same thing for my relatives that I am asking for myself. Please bless, please pity, please have unconditional love for all of us. I think that's more sincere too. If you're not careful with prayer, it can become a very self-centered activity. And in that, where you're just asking for something for yourself. And there's a very curious thing that's taking place in this imperative, because you're telling someone to do something, which in traditional language would be, frowned upon. It'd be in very poor taste. It'd be in bad form. You'd never really tell someone to do something. They have their own autonomy. They have their own agency. You can make a powerful suggestion, but that is their life to lead. It's their decision to make. So if you'll note in that ish, in that Zhawenimishinaam, that ish, it's called a pejorative in the language. And it really means like no good, bad off. It can also be used as a term of affection. That no good person, but really you're saying, I have a great deal of care and affection for this person. I'm kind of teasing them. It can also be used to maybe hide the power or spiritual power of a particular item, a particular relative. So what you're saying is, please love. Please have unconditional, compassionate pity and compassion for me, and please bless us with life. No good us who are pitiful, us who are not good. It's a way to remain humble when you are asking someone or something mysterious to do something. And, I want to close with this today. That if we are all of our relatives, Zhawenimishinaam, if we are all related, if I am all of my relatives and all of my relatives are me, and I am asking for this magnificent blessing, we're asking for life, we're asking for unconditional love, we're asking for compassion. Should I, in fact, treat myself the same way I am treating all of my relatives? And this can be hard because, again, there's that fine line where, your egocentric, self-centered behavior, but then there can be times when we can be very hard on ourselves and forget that I too am all of my relatives. I too should treat myself with that same kind of unconditional compassion. I should love myself. I should bless myself. And we can, because that word is in the language. It is absolutely in the language. Joanindizo, Joanindizo. He or she loves themselves. He or she can bless themselves, and he or she can have compassion and pity on themselves. That same way that we love those people we hold so dear. Again, and you will have this experience where you will have a spouse, a child, a grandchild, a parent, an aunt, and an uncle, a grandparent, a great-grandparent. And that love that you feel for them, when we use a word like Zhawenindizo, you can use that for yourself. If you can love your relatives, then you can love yourself that way. And imagine that love that you are then radiating from yourself if you do have that kind of self-love, that self-compassion, that blessing of yourself. How beautiful that can be. Rather than, at times when you are reviewing your book and you may be hard on yourself, and we can all do that. You can go over how you've treated someone, how you've treated maybe a particular task, and not have that kind of compassion on yourself. But you are just as deserving of it as your relatives are. So, that's all I'm going to say this evening. I want to take a moment and say, thank you all so much for listening. Again, please feel free to like and share this video. Please, all of you, do take care. And this spirit shall decide when we see each other again.